You know when it's like 3 in the morning and you really have to go to bed, but you just can't stop scrolling online? And you finally tell yourself, okay, one more video. And that one more video is some wide-eyed, long-legged, nasty creature crawling up the stairs, or even worse, peeking around the corner. Well, that's exactly what I'm gonna put you guys through today. Hey guys, it's Alasia, and today I'm going to be reading you a bedtime story. Halloweekend is approaching and you guys wanted to hear something scary. Turn off your lights and grab a snack because it's about to get freaky. Not that kind of freaky. Quick FYI, I did alter some of the sentences to shorten the story, but the full story is available to read on Reddit, and I'll leave that linked in the description. My girlfriend talks in her sleep. At first it was cute and hilarious to tell her what she said. It was harmless nonsense. The sky is folding, or we need to raise the ground. We talked the next day about it if she remembered her dream, but she never did. Honestly, at first I was eager to hear what she said, but now I'm done. How am I going to sleep after what happened last night? Last night around 11 p.m., she was asleep and I was still reading. I hear her mumble something under her breath, but I lean over from my book to peek at her face, and she's sleeping soundly. I return to my book and at some point I fall asleep. Next thing I know, I'm woken up by my girlfriend talking at full volume. I open my eyes. She's staring right at me. My heart rate skyrockets. Full of adrenaline, I throw off the covers and jump out of the bed looking at her. Her eyes follow me like a painting, but her body stays still. I dare to ask her, "Are you all right?" No response. Those eyes look at me when I speak though. Her breathing hasn't changed. She's asleep for sure. That's when, while looking right at me, she says in a deep voice,
"Come back to bed, dearie."
My girlfriend has never called me dearie before. I decide I'll get more information before I climb back into bed with a potentially possessed girlfriend. "Are you awake, sweetie?" No response. The eyes dart from me to the wall, to the door, then the ceiling. I'm about to nope out of the room when her wide eyes roll to the back of her head.
"Of course I'm awake. Come back to bed."
With a subtle tap of the fingers on the comforter. Looking at her fingers, it's as though she's pretending to have control. They're all going in different directions. Those hands are not my girlfriend's hands. They're simulating normal movement as best as they can though. "I'm going to get a drink of water. Can I get you anything?" But my normally agreeable girlfriend decides I'm not allowed to leave.
"Take one step out of that door and I'll rip out your throat and down your neck."
Okay. What are we talking about here? I think I'm going. And thinking quickly, I grab my water bottle from the nightstand. This doesn't please my girlfriend as she decides to start screaming and fingering her way towards me. It's a supernatural scream. As fast as I can muster, I unscrew the lid and douse her in water. Her eyes close, her garbled appendages normalize, and she's back asleep. I'm going to sleep on the couch for a while. Maybe forever. It's the morning after my girlfriend's body was possessed in her sleep by some malicious entity. I've been distant this morning, so she knows something's up. I can't tell her yet that she tried to rip my throat out and shit down my neck. Obviously, I didn't sleep last night, but I did stay up most of the night with all the lights on. The demonic beast inside my girlfriend managed to creep its way back into control sometime. Soon after I exited the room, I pinned it closed with a dining room chair. Given her eye movements and the activation delay, my theory is that the beast is allowed control during REM. It spent most of the evening trying to persuade me back into the bedroom.
"Come back to bed, sweetie."
I decide I'm not going to validate this demon with a response, but moments later, the deep, sinister voice is back.
"If you don't open this door, I will slit the cat's throat."
I forgot about the cat. He's still in the bedroom, probably cowering in fear. I've seen enough horror movies to know that this moment, I have to decide to do something dumb and heroic. Or die on screen while everyone yells about how much of an idiot I am for opening the door. Honestly, when it comes to scary movies, I don't even blame those who die early on. I'm the character to trip over the stairs or look back when they're running and fall and cry and just get slaughtered. So, justice for us. Against my better judgment, I'm going to open the door and get the cat out of the room. I'm staring at the bedroom door now and notice something damp and muscly poking its way out from under the door. I point my phone's flashlight at it and I realize it's my girlfriend's tongue. Not the demon trying to steal her man, but this is perfect. I need to test out my new technique, a spray bottle full of sink water. I spray the tongue and it inchworms itself around the edge of the door. It immediately recoils and I hear the body inside collapse. Water is still a possession off switch, I decide, and immediately tear the chair away from holding the door lock. My girlfriend's unconscious body is blocking me from entering. It requires quite a bit of force to slide her ragdoll body behind the door so I can squeeze through. Trying not to look too closely at her, I realize now that she's sweating an oily black substance. The bed and floor are totally drenched. Carefully avoiding stepping in the demon's super glue, I'm now inside the bedroom. I don't see the cat right away. I've got to persuade it out from under the bed now. I have one hand pointing a spray bottle at my dead asleep girlfriend and the other hand reaching under the bed to grab my cat. I reach blindly under the dark bed. I could feel soft fur. I wrap my hand around it and attempt to bring it towards me. It wiggles free from my grasp. I take my eyes off my girlfriend to look where it went. No sign of it. I put the spray bottle down and point my phone's flashlight under the bed. It's too deep underneath for me to get it from this side. Pulling my head back out from underneath the bed, I realize my fatal error. My girlfriend has woken up. She's standing over me, a dark tower as I lay vulnerable on the ground. Her hair is glossed with a black paste that had slicked itself to her head. Her eyes are wide open and yellow. Just as I'm about to scuttle an adrenaline-filled crawl around her legs and out the open door, she grabs both ankles. She begins raising my entire body weight by my legs, plainly in an attempt to start eating me alive from the toes up. Little does she know, I've never skipped leg day in my life. I kicked my girlfriend dead in her teeth with both feet. While she's stunned, I manage to get to my feet and exit the room. Hands shaking, I adjust the chair to the correct angle just in time to hear an agitated knocking on the other side.
Baby, come back to bed.
All of that, and I didn't even get the damn cat out. What the hell am I gonna do now? So here's what I know. The possession ends when she wakes up. She has no recollection of the previous night. Water disables, but only momentarily. The black ooze she drips and sweats while possessed evaporates. The bed and floor were wet this morning from the water I sprayed. The rest had all disappeared by the time I checked. And the cat is fine. She's taking work calls in the other room. I'm doing my best to focus on my own work, but my mind drifts from my laptop screen. I can't focus. Agreeing to myself that I won't get anything done today, I give up and start thinking about the next steps. I need an exorcist. Feeling totally out of my element, I found an exorcist on Craigslist. He says he'll come over tonight. I'm certainly not thrilled with the idea of a stranger knowing my address, but I'm not backing out now. It's the slowest slog day I've ever experienced in my life. I'm anxious. I jump at everything my girlfriend says. I can't look at her in the eyes without imagining that eerie yellow tinge behind them. Finally, the workday is over. I got into bed with her. I made sure to place the cat in a comfortable spot in the living room. We're reading side by side when she leans over, kisses me goodnight, and turns off her bedside table light. I'm going to keep mine on for now. I count down from 3 minutes. She must have been close to falling asleep because she doesn't protest when I get up. I install the chair as my lock and wait.
Where are you, Pumpkin?
I decide not to respond.
There's someone coming up the driveway. Don't let them in.
I stand up to answer the front door. Outside in the dim front door light is a tall man in a traditional priest garb. His body is covered in tattoos, with ink poking out from beneath his cuffs. There's not much time to introduce ourselves as we hear an alarming scrape coming from the bedroom. Outside of the bedroom door now, in hushed tones, he begins to explain what he's going to do. Brandishing the Bible and a small jar of holy water, we're about to open the door. Hands on the chair, I hear scraping again. This time, I realize the sound was never coming from the bedroom. It came from the living room. To the left, I hear the stranger breathe out softly. The cat. The cat has been watching us this whole time. Its normally green eyes now bloodshot and yellow. No pupils in sight. The cat's legs are longer than usual. It could stand as high as my knees. New plan, cat first. Just then, a consistent rapping of knuckles on the door.
Let me out. Let me out.
I'm puzzling this situation in my mind when I realize the moment I took my eyes off the cat, it has rocketed itself forward, wrapped its long legs around its neck. The priest drops his Bible and holy water on the ground, attempting to tear the cat's octopus-like legs away from its neck. He succeeds momentarily and cites what I assume is a Bible verse. The cat puts a stop to this with its tail deep down into the priest's throat. Immediately, the cat falls to the ground like a corpse, legs splayed in every direction as it lays on the ground, defeated for now. Once the cat is safely inside its travel carrier, the priest and I share a grim look. I explain to the priest not to swallow any of the black liquid. I think there might not be much hope for him now that my cat's tail has penetrated deep into his throat. My train of thought is interrupted by the sobbing harassment of a girlfriend possessed in the bedroom.
You don't love me. You never loved me.
The doorknob shakes with a dreadful force. Tremors ringing through the hallway. Fingers emerge at the bottom of the door.
Open this door or I kill the girl.
The fingers vanish. A pause. I hear breaking glass from inside the room. There's a renewed sense of urgency at this threat. Still out of breath from being choked by my cat, the priest manages to wheeze. We need to open the door. What will we do? Water stops her, but only for a minute. It's too dangerous to perform the rites while she's in this form. We'll get her in the shower and restrain her. I begin to remove the chair.
Why did you lock me in here? I've been so scared.
Chair in hand, I take a step back from the door. For a single beat, there is silence. The latch clicks. She's opening the door. Shining black slicked hair emerges, covering her face through the crack in the door. She's wielding a broken shard of glass and holding it to her own wrist. There's no time for protest before the priest has already sprayed her down. Her frenzied dodge fails as a second jet of water dampens the pajamas she's wearing. With only a few seconds left of control, the demon cuts my girlfriend's hand cruelly at the wrist with the shard of glass. She gnaws the rest off with her mouth. Her hand splashes to the ground in a grotesque puddle of blood and oil. The priest scoops her up, rushes her in the shower, and turns on the water. Do you have any ropes or anything to restrain her with? I have some bungee cords down in my car. I'll get them. I sprint down the stairs. Grabbing my keys off the hook, I run to the car, locate the bungee cords in the trunk, and rush back upstairs. The priest has torn apart our medical cabinet looking to apply first aid to my girlfriend's arm and is applying pressure as I approach. I frantically tie a single bungee cord to slow the bleeding. We carry her lifeless body to the bed and restrain her to the frame. She wakes up. She looks at me, totally disoriented, and then cries desperately as the pain sets in. Mercifully, she faints. Eyes still open, I point her chin up towards me and watch as that hollowness returns. Tears and blood still on her face. She smiles.
It's over. You failed.
How is this winning in the eyes of this creature? It's restrained, more so than before. It knows something we don't. Something moves in my peripheral. It's my girlfriend's severed hand. Fingers padding across the floor like a spider. A trail of sludge follows it as it reaches its destination, the spray bottle. The hand leaps, tackling the spray bottle and tumbling awkwardly down the stairs. The knots are holding. You go after the hand. I'll perform the rites. Running down the stairs, I hear the distant murmurings of the ritual. Lord above, Redeemer of the world, have mercy on us. I turn on the lights as I go. It's on the first floor. I tiptoe over the black slime, extra cautious so I don't get any on me. I have it cornered. It's behind the refrigerator. I act like I haven't noticed the trail of slime leading right there, and walk as casually as possible to the cabinet to fill a glass of water. The weapon is ready. Suddenly, a prolonged silhouette covers the kitchen light. Pouncing like an insect, the hand leaps from the top of the refrigerator, the perfect height to land right on my face. I drop my glass on the ground. It takes both hands to remove the hand from my face and throw it as hard as I can against the wall. I pick my girlfriend's disoriented hand from the ground and run water over it in the sink. I fill a cooler with ice and water and throw the hand inside. I run back upstairs, hoping that the priest did his job. It's silent except for the demonic meows of the cat in the other room. The priest is hulking over my girlfriend, muttering something under his breath as he cradles the Bible in one hand and his fingers point in all directions. Noticing me, he hurriedly shuts his Bible, but seeing one of the pages, I note that it's in fact not a Bible at all. Inside are what I can only imagine are demonic scrawls and symbols. But the priest has done his job, he says. The demon has left her. Carefully placing my girlfriend in the back seat, I yell back to the priest. I'll pay him when we get back. Putting on my seatbelt, I look out the window and note a tattoo on his arm similar to the symbol I saw in the false Bible. Driving to the hospital like a husband would if his wife had gone into labor. I wonder if you could surgically reattach a hand like you can a finger. Then I wonder if the hand should even be reattached. Okay, you guys are going to hate me, but this is where the story ends. The author wrote this in 2020 and there hasn't been an update since, so I made it a point to make my own ending. So in my theory, the priest was an entity in human form the entire time and made the listing on Craigslist to be reunited with his family and reach his goal of raising the ground, as the girlfriend kept saying in her dreams previously. And they plan on possessing everyone on Earth and turning it into their own personal hell, if you will. I told this story and not a finished one because I want to hear what you guys think about the ending and create your own in the comments because I love creating my own endings. Alright guys, I am calling it here. If you like me, subscribe. If you like this video, give it a big like. It helps my channel so much. And comment down below how you think this story should end. Happy Halloweekend, and I will see you guys in the next one.